A Fox News alert in what is an unprecedented situation in American politics. Fox News is now able to confirm from a Clinton campaign aide that Hillary Clinton was email interviewed this morning by the FBI as it related to her email scandal. Remember, this is a criminal investigation. This video from just outside her home in Washington, D.C. about a half an hour ago, the convoy carrying Mrs. Clinton, presumably coming back from FBI headquarters, arrived at her home. A statement now from Nick Merrill, spokesman for the campaign. Secretary Clinton gave a voluntary interview this morning about her email arrangements while she was secretary. She is pleased to have had the opportunity to assist the Department of Justice in bringing this review to a conclusion. Out of respect for the investigative process, she will not comment further on her interview. And of course, there are going to be a lot of people taking that statement apart, most notably perhaps, this issue of quote-unquote this review. And we remember that Hillary Clinton for so long has called this a security review. We know James Comey, the head of the FBI, has said the FBI does not conduct security reviews. They conduct criminal investigations. Pictures of Mrs. Clinton during her time as Secretary of State, when we now know that she was using that BlackBerry that she has in her hand, not connected to some type of very secure State Department email server, but connected to her home email server. After that story broke, the FBI has launched its investigation. We know the FBI has recovered the hard drive from Hillary Clinton's private email server. What they got off of that, we don't know. The big questions, of course, are what happened inside this meeting? What does the FBI know? What did Mrs. Clinton say?
And what are we going to learn from it?
And did she take the Fifth Amendment at any point during that meeting, which she had the opportunity to do? Lots of questions here. We're in so many ways in uncharted waters 2 weeks now before the Democratic National Convention.
Yeah, and we've been following this obviously for quite some time. We knew that the interview was going to be the end of the investigation. We would hear a conclusion from the FBI at that time, but we didn't necessarily know when the interviews were going to take place. We knew that Mrs. Clinton didn't have any campaign events this weekend, that she had been pushing off the possibility, although she had volunteered to meet with investigators. So it's certainly a moment that we have been waiting for. Our own Jennifer Griffin is live outside of Hillary Clinton's home in Washington, D.C. Jennifer, you just heard the news. Obviously, you also were notified from the campaign. I want to get your reaction and also what activity you're seeing there at the home, obviously.
Well, Elizabeth, what we can confirm is that she did meet with the FBI at FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C. this morning. The meeting lasted about 3.5 hours. We're seeing right now what appears to be her convoy leaving the residence, followed by the Secret Service. Her convoy has just left. I saw a silhouette of what may have been Secretary Clinton sitting in the right-hand rear seat of that vehicle. But we've received a statement from the campaign saying that, quote, Secretary Clinton gave a voluntary interview this morning about her email arrangements while she was secretary. She is pleased to have had the opportunity to assist the Department of Justice in bringing this review to a conclusion. Out of respect for the investigative process, she will not comment further on her interview. That's from Nick Merrill, the spokesman for Secretary Clinton. We just received it as we were on air just a few minutes ago. Again, the activity here at the House suggests that Secretary Clinton has now left the residence. It's not clear if she'll be heading back to Chappaqua, New York, to her home there. Back to you, Elizabeth.
All right. Jennifer Griffin reporting live. Thank you so much.